Now, the South African Policing Union has given the police service a 48-hour notice to change the shared accommodation that it's arranged for officers deployed to work during the holiday season. The union is also demanding proper safekeeping for their firearms. For more on this, I'm joined by SAPU's spokesperson, Lesiba Thobakgale. A very good afternoon to you, sir. Talk us through some of the areas of concern that you have regarding some of the arrangements that have been made for policing during this festive season.
Thank you, Sis Tammy, for giving us this opportunity. We wish to greet your viewers as well during this festive period. As SAPU, we have learned that our members who are deployed for the festive season operations, which happens yearly, they did not have a conducive accommodation afforded to them. They were booked where they were sharing. And even to make things worse, we are inside the COVID-19 period as we speak, whereby, everybody should try to ensure that the levels of infections are indeed decreased. And sharing, it does not promote that goal which the country has embarked on. And further to that, the accommodation that was made available for these members, it was a type of an accommodation that does not even have safes where they can keep their firearms within those safes. Because we know that the law requires that if a firearm is not on you as a person, it should be safe kept within a safe. And that accommodation, it does not have safes. So that is why then we gave a notice to SAPS to say they need to resolve this situation. And as it stands this time, we are glad to report that through the intervention that was made by SAPU, that situation has been resolved. We have since learned that an agent was utilized or was sourced in order to seek accommodation for these members. And that issue has been resolved. That is why, as we speak, SAPU indeed has intervened and assisted those members. But we are also further calling upon all members who have concerns, more especially related to any issues within this festive period, because as a union, we are not closed, because our members are down there on the roads to ensure that we are safe, to ensure that our roads and even security and safety within our country is maintained. So we have intervened as a union with the management of SAPS, with the notice that we have given them, and we need to appreciate that through our intervention, indeed, they have done something to rectify that situation, because it was not convenient at the beginning.
So talk to us about how arrangements had been in previous years and how this year was different, if at all.
Sister Tammy, we know that the budget allocation starting from the beginning of the year, when budget allocation is done, festive season, it is something that we have each and every year. Then there is always budget made available in order to ensure that the issue of accommodation, indeed, it is sorted out. And there is no way whereby members are expected to share accommodation. Even before COVID-19 could reach to our shores, our members were not made to share accommodation when they were deployed with regards to those deployments. So we were just wondering to say, what has happened when we learned to what transpired when our members were required to share. Remember, some members, they've got their religious beliefs or things that they do religiously or traditionally. So when a member is expected to share an accommodation with somebody, you will find that their space is invaded in one way or another. And these members, they are being taken from their comfort zones to go and perform these duties and leave their families behind. The least that SAPS management, what we're expecting from them, it was to make sure that they are comfortable, to give them that little comfort so that when they are performing these duties, they cannot be disgruntled, so they can be comfortable and be able to be productive, because that is what is needed within this festive season system.
And what was the communication that you as SAPU had made to the department regarding this? You said you'd given them a 48-hour notice, or else what?
Remember, when we gave that notice, we gave them to say, we understand what has transpired. We want you to resolve it as soon as possible. We are giving you 48 hours to resolve it. And at the same time, Sister Tammy, we were looking at our legal avenues. We were consulting our lawyers to say what would be the next necessary step that we will take as a union in case the 48-hour period comes to an end and this situation is not resolved, then we will look at all the legal avenues that are available. Our legal teams were ready in order to ensure that if that 48 hours had went past and there was nothing that was done to resolve the situation, then we would follow whatever necessary legal avenues that we would do in order to ensure that SAPS is forced in order for them to make sure that these members, they have a convenient and a safe and healthy accommodation that is given to them.
And how many members are we talking about here? How many of SAPU's members are actually deployed throughout this festive season?
Sister Me, you know, the issue of the deployment of members, remember there are operation plans that are in place, which are considered to be, you know, to be private. They are considered to be secret because it is not really good for us to disclose, to say how many members are deployed. But what we can assure the country is that our members are out there within all the 9 provinces, and where there are specific operations that are being done. As we can remember that there were launches, festive season launches that were done by the minister and also the national commissioner. Even us as a union, we form part of those launches in order to ensure that everything runs smoothly. Our members are deployed there and there are no issues that comes, and as and when these issues comes, we can be sure that we go into those situations in order to address whatever that comes in that way. But unfortunately, we cannot disclose in terms of the operational plans, because that would really make the safety and even compromise service delivery in terms of how it's supposed to occur.
Mr. Lesiba Thobakgale, thank you very much for your time today. He's the SAPU's spokesperson on the successful resolution of the complaints that they had meted out shared accommodation in these times of COVID, and saying that they needed to be in accommodation where their firearms would be safe even when they're not on their person.